Hey YouTube, how's everybody doing? It's your girl Giselle Jocelyn. Today is Saturday, August 6th. It's about 11 o'clock. I'm just gonna leave a video because I started my YouTube page, and at first it was a fantastic avenue to promote my performances at the Club Goddess at MJ's Club in Silver Lake, put on by the legendary Leslie Monroy. However, I was looped in by some people, some supporters, I'll say, that I was good on camera. So I've been doing tutorials on makeup, and I did originally state that I wanted to touch on transgender topics. So I just wanted to introduce myself on a more personal level to any of my watchers. So I just wanted to tell my story a little bit to some of my followers, because I just wanted you guys to get a little bit more in tune with who I am as a person. Well, from the age of 13 to 18, I battled with being transgender, on and off. Some months I would be a woman, and some months I would be a boy, and it was just dealing with modern day society and the black on black crime, of the judgment of how religion doesn't support this walk of life, being shaped by other transgender women, into realizing that if you went down this path, the kind of lifestyle that you were going to have to take on, and just dealing with all these different levels of stress at such a young age were so challenging and a bit much for me. So I chose to break away from it at the age of 18. I became a gay boy, and that was an interesting road in itself. I had an amazing response when turning back into a gay boy. Women loved me. It wasn't hard to date. I worked in the gym quite often, had a great gym body, and had my straight friends, had my gay friends, and just the reality of being the token gay was so much easier than being the cast-out transgender woman, and it was a new reality for me, and I ran with it. Although being untrue to myself, I decided that this was a bit easier, so I took the easy way out, and as I sit back and reflect on it, it hurts, because I'm trying not to cry, because if I could have started my transition so much earlier, and I see these young girls transitioning at such an early age, and they're so beautiful, and it's so much easier for them to become what we deem as passable at such a young age. And here I am. I turned 30 the 31st of this month, and I've been transitioning now for 2 years. I've been moaning for basically 2 years, and I'm very thankful that I'm in the place that I'm in right now. However, that whole stunt of being a gay boy was just so interesting. It was a very dark period in my life, mentally and physically, emotionally, and spiritually, even though I knew how to really put on a fantastic act. That I was very happy because I was socially accepted, and my career was thriving. I was being involved in so many different projects, and I was the token sexy gay boy that so many people liked. And that fear of, if I make this decision, how many people will I lose? And my slogan is now officially, thanks to my daughter Blair. I shared this with her, and that you may lose many, but you gain you. And that's the reality of the situation, ladies. You may lose many, but you gain you. And really accepting that, it's very empowering. So about 2 years ago, things were going really amazing in my life. My career was booming. I got promoted. I got my own counter. Had my own staff of, I think, like 6 or more girls. I was in a very posh neck of the woods here in Los Angeles, right outside of Beverly Hills in Century City. Moved into my first 1-bedroom apartment. Had a car. I was really able to be comfortable, and even though I wanted so much for my father to accept me as his child, even though I was at that time a gay boy, the reality was sinking in more and more every day that even though he might tolerate me, he still falls back on his religion, and his religion doesn't support an alternative lifestyle. So I was dealing with that demon as well. But anywho, speeding up, just to kind of get this over and done with, I was sitting on the edge of my bed one day, and I came home from work, Sat on the edge of the bed. I have a beautiful Tempur-Pedic that was given to me by the lady I was renting from. And I just started crying. I started crying uncontrollably. And it was one of those cries that it was from your soul, it was from your gut. There was a lot of snot involved. There was faces, sounds, burying your face, just dealing with where is all this pain coming from. And I heard this voice in my head, and it said, fuck it, put a dress on. I looked around the room. I was the only one in the room. I was the only one in the house. Stood up and looked in the mirror. And again, she said, fuck it, put a dress on. And in that very moment, I looked into my eyes, and I saw the woman that you see today. And I said, you know what? Enough is enough. It is time to live my life for me. It is time to lose the many and gain myself. And the unfortunate part of the situation was a lot of the people I was surrounding myself weren't so much in love with my person, but in love with my exterior, which I found is very much a common thread in Los Angeles. It's how you make them look, how the clique rolls, and it's really unfortunate. However, I made that decision that it was time to live for myself, and you know what? I jumped right into it. If it's something you know that you want to do, and if you walk like a duck, talk like a duck, goddamn it, you're a fucking duck. Pardon my French. And if it's how you feel inside, even though I masked this for so many years, it was time to triumph and come into me and really experience life comfortable in my own skin. And it's so interesting that some people felt like I was battling demons, but the reality of that situation is, do you really think that I would take on the challenges on day-to-day life, living this lifestyle, just so I could, I don't know, I don't know where to go with that statement, because it was like, it's almost like when people say you're not born gay. The gay population, why would you want to deal with the hate? Why would you want to deal with the being excluded from society? Why would you want to deal with the fact that they won't allow you guys to get married? Why would you want to put yourself in that predicament? As in, why would I want to put myself in the predicament of being a transgender woman? But it is what it is, and my energy clicked as soon as I put one and one together and came up with two. I looped in a lot of friends. I lost a lot of friends. But I'll tell you what, as soon as I solidified with my company that this is what I was going to do, and I realized I had the support, which I am so thankful for, honey, gay boy one day, the next day I walked out, I was a woman, even though I was still battling with shaving, and I went from being skin bald to head of hair, wig. I finally felt comfortable, and till this day, it has been the most amazing journey. Let's touch a little bit on hormones. I started my hormones about 2 to 3 months after I made the decision that this was who I was going to be. A lot of the girls in the transgender circle here in Los Angeles were huge supporters, and big shout out to all of them. I'm not going to name drop them because I haven't asked them if I could. So if they ever get the opportunity to watch this video, specifically one in general, she took me under her wing right away, and it was so soothing. It was so surreal to be in the presence of a girl who knew exactly what I was going through as I talked about the challenges and the day-to-day name calling and just dealing with all the opportunities as a transgender woman. She would look me in my eyes and we'd cry together. It is still amazing, the bond I have with her. I work a lot, so I don't get to see her that often, but anywho, so I've been moaning for 2 years, and have little boobies, facial hair smoother, face is rounder, growing hips. Things are really good. And which brings me to the last statement I want to make, and that's the avenue that a lot of the girls decide to go down as being a transgender woman. I just want to express to y'all that I get it. If you want to go down the hustling mentality, if you want to go down the hustling street, Great for you. However, is that how you want to have society reflect you as? Is this the way you want people to to is this the way you want people to see you? I understand that the transition does cost a lot. I haven't got my breast done. I'm doing laser. That's expensive. I've had face fillers. That's expensive. Um, Body work expensive. Hair expensive, and that's my thing. Yes, I get it. However, if you're gonna go down that avenue and you're gonna get all these things done, what are you gonna do once you're finally there? Or are you gonna capitalize on now that you're a sex siren? You're gonna make more money in that lifestyle, or are you going to break away and actually be a powerhouse woman? Because the reality is the amount of trash we have to deal with on a regular basis makes us so much stronger, and I just wish that a lot of us would realize that we have so much opportunity, and we're not going to have a place in modern day society unless we push our way in. So with that said, and me sharing what I've shared, I've worked for my company 10 years. Out of those 10 years, 2 of those years I've been a woman, and it hasn't stopped my rhythm, it hasn't stopped my drive, it hasn't stopped me whatsoever, and I'm continuing to push on in my life, and I have goals, and I'm going to achieve them, and whether it's long-term or short-term, just because I'm walking in these shoes does not mean that I can't achieve whatever I want in life. So if I could share that with you, absorb it if you will, disregard it if you want. But we're so powerful, and the only way we can be powerful is if we bond together, is if we go out and achieve the achievables. As we focus so much on the exterior, let's take this time within the next 5 years to start focusing on the interior. The percentage of us that have breast and body work to the percentage of us that have graduated high school, going to college, setting up a career, a life for ourselves, those numbers are so sad that I'm choosing not to share. But those numbers will only change if we decide to change them. So with me sharing my story and opening up to you and just giving my my insight on what I've gained within these last 2 years, I hope that it's influential. This was a bit heavier than a red lip and a lash, but I hope you guys retain something from this. If you have any questions, leave a message. If you would like to leave a comment, do it at the bottom. Other than that, this is your girl Giselle Jocelyn, and it's been an amazing time sharing with you.